Hello, this is Pamela Topjian, and today I wanted to talk about authenticity. What is the definition of it? What does it mean? And how you can live more authentically. So I'm aware that this has become kind of a buzzword and kind of a word that people feel like might be overused these days. And maybe it is, but I still think it's really important to talk about and really important to understand it. And more importantly, to live true to yourself. Live in a way that is true to who you are and to explore who you are and just to live authentically. Because when you do, you give others the sort of invitation to do the same. And the more that we pretend that we're somebody else, or the more that we hide our own selves, then the less we're going to have people around us who are real, who are being true to themselves, and who are like-minded. Because if you're pretending to be somebody else, or if you're trying to be something that you're not, or fearing that you're going to upset somebody, or you don't want to disagree with people that that are close to you, then you're not going to be able to be free to express yourself and be fully who you are. And you also won't draw in the same, like I said, like-minded people, right? So I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here. So one of the top five regrets of dying people is that they didn't have the courage to be themselves. So just imagine that. Imagine when you're, on your deathbed or you get a diagnosis, a terminal diagnosis, whether it's in your 40s, 50s, 80s, even 90s, something happens and you know that you don't have much longer to live. Do you think that you would regret not being just like this person that you look up to, that you try to emulate, which there's nothing wrong with that up to a certain point, as long as you don't lose yourself in that? Or do you think that you would be more regretful that you didn't speak up for yourself, that you didn't hold your boundaries, that you didn't live up to what was important for you? The definition of authenticity is just the quality of being genuine or real. And that is so important when you're talking about yourself. Having the quality of being genuine and being real, being true to yourself, to thine own self be true, right? So it takes some reflection, of course, and I always talk about journaling because I really believe in it. But whether you're journaling or not, it takes some reflection to ask yourself, what parts of myself have I lost? What parts of myself do I hide? We talk about the closet, being in the closet, and it's not just, for the LGBTQ community, but you can be in the closet with your beliefs and you can be in the closet with your morals, values, ethics, just hiding things away, hiding parts of yourself away because either you don't feel safe or you don't feel like you'll be understood, or you might even feel like you will be pushed away from people that you love, or just even in your everyday life, like your workplace, or people in your family even, or your friends that you have developed over many years. So it's important to reflect on what are your true values, your beliefs, what are your biggest desires in life, right? What are your big passions in life? Do these align with who you truly are? So Dr. Gabor Mate, he's he's a therapist, a doctor, he's a big spiritual teacher. I believe he's got quite a few books out, and I'll put the name down below so it's spelled correctly, somebody to look up if you don't know who he is. But he talks about people having childhood trauma, and in a way that they felt they weren't able to be themselves. And they have disassociated a lot of times, or just held back natural instincts to run or to cry or to fight back or to stand up for yourselves. You held back those natural instincts that came to you because you didn't want to either hurt somebody's feelings or you didn't think that you had any value, that your feelings and beliefs were not valuable or that anybody cared or, just that it didn't matter. And a lot of times this comes from childhood, is what he talks about. And I fully agree. I am a board certified hypnotherapist, if you don't know already. And a lot of what we deal with comes from the stuff that was planted, or programmed during childhood. So a lot of people don't even realize that these instincts that they have or that these things that they have about holding back and not being true to themselves or not being able to stand up for your boundaries. A lot of these things come from childhood and people a lot of times aren't even sure where it comes from, you know, where their reactions or their just sort of knee-jerk emotional reactions come from. So of course, again, reflection, and this can be done in meditation, this can be done by journaling, this can be done in hypnotherapy, or, a lot of the other holistic modalities and holistic methods that I have a feature, if you look in the playlist, Holistic Connections, Conversations with Holistic Practitioners. There's all kinds of ways and different things that you can do to help you to know yourself better, to be on a self-discovery journey, a self-discovery path, and to just delve deeper within yourself to know yourself better. So let's see. So it helps to gain confidence. Because when you live authentically, you stop wasting your energy trying to make everyone else happy, or trying to make everyone or anyone proud of you. You just trust your own instincts, you trust your own truth, and you let go of any need for outside validation. And when you're at peace with who you are, when you have inner peace, that is absolutely going to help you to live more authentically and to have self-confidence and self-respect too. So as I mentioned, living authentically, having, the courage, I guess, and vulnerability to live, according to your values, according to your ethics, according to your beliefs, being true to yourself, not only gives people the invitation to do the same, but it also helps you to attract those like-minded people into your life. And so many people say, I don't have true friends, or I have surface level friends, or I might have one or two friends that are pretty close, but maybe they don't know this side of me or this part of me that is important to me, or maybe you've changed, and that's totally fine. And it's something that you need to look at carefully. And when you start to feel like maybe I don't agree with this anymore, this thing that I used to feel strongly about, through life experiences, through different things I've read, or different things that I've, different podcasts or YouTube channels or anything, different people that I've listened to. If you are feeling that you are changing some of your beliefs and some of your values and some of the things that are important to you, or you have sort of switched what you used to think, never be afraid to show that in yourself. Know that as we live and we grow and we evolve, that we are going to have different things that are important to us. We are going to change our beliefs sometimes. We are going to change our values sometimes. And it's perfectly normal and perfectly fine, and it's a good sign of growth. So when you show who you are to the world, to your friends and family, then other people that are like-minded will show up in your world if you're true to yourself. So you can't expect to have like-minded people around you when you're not really being your true self, right? So I think that's really important. So I was talking before about the closet for the LGBTQ community, but also, people that are into certain more maybe esoteric types of things or spiritual types of things, or even more on the holistic side of things. You can be in like the spiritual closet, or even like the paranormal stuff, or even, mediumship types of things, psychic things, beliefs. If you're hiding parts of yourself, then you can't expect to draw in those types of people to you. So, there might be even like secrets that you feel like you have to keep to sort of keep the peace with some people, or you're fearful because you've seen other people being put down or criticized for some of the same beliefs or thoughts or feelings that you have. So there's going to be an adjustment period. So if you are in some sort of a closet or you are hiding parts of yourself in any way, and you decide to start living more authentically and putting that out in the world, there's going to be an adjustment phase. So you might lose some friends, you might gain some friends, people around you might be confused or might criticize you or think that you're kind of losing it maybe. So just some things to be aware of and to watch out for. So, when you compare yourself to others or when you try to live more like somebody that you admire or look up to, or even somebody that you love, then it really diminishes your own uniqueness. And we are all so unique. You were brought into this world to be yourself. And if you're going to just try to keep others happy and, live not true to yourself, then you're really denying anybody and everybody in the world. You're denying them what you have to truly offer. Who are you? Who are you to not be yourself? Sometimes I think it's Marianne Williamson who says, something along those lines. Who am I to feel like I can do this thing or be this person? And really, who are you not to? You owe it to the world to be your true self and to give that out to others. Just by showing up in the world as your true self, it's not necessarily so much that you're giving, it's what you're putting out. And we talk about, having the aura around you, the energy around you, your vibes, all of that you put out is, if it's not true to who you are, then what are you really putting out in the world? You're putting out secrecy or, putting a lid on things, right? So, or a mask, right? Covering up who you really are is not doing anybody any good. So, although, and I've said before that I think it's good to understand when you look at people that you admire, when you look at people that you look up to, when you look at people that you would like to reach some of those same goals, then think about, what is it that I really like about this person? Why do I really look up to them? What is it about their character that I am looking up to, or that, I really admire? So when you're doing your self-reflection, you want to think about those things as well. What am I attracted to when it comes to this person that I admire? What is it about them? And, meditate, pray, journal, all of that stuff. Do a little automatic writing, whether it's journaling or just, you don't have to call it journaling, just writing it out or typing it out. So, as I've said, being authentic requires bravery, vulnerability. It requires courage. And sometimes, it might mean going against what you're used to going along with. Now you need to think about, what are my personal boundaries, and am I, holding those up? That takes courage. So, but then, that comes with the freedom to be true to who you are, and the freedom to give out who you are and to live your life on your own terms, right? So also Dr. Peter Levine is somebody that is good to look into when it comes to living authentically. So I think that's about all that I have to say on authenticity, being true to yourself. What does it really mean to be authentic and to live authentically? And how do I find that for myself? So hopefully this has helped you with some of those answers and helps you to start on a self-discovery journey. And I do have another video about starting on a self-discovery journey and even a spiritual journey and different things to help reflect on who you really are. That's what it comes down to. Who are you really? Who are you deep within yourself? And are you putting that out in the world? So I'll leave it here, and I'm going to do something that I'm uncomfortable with, and that's trying to edit, because I did have a little mess up with my microphone in the middle of it, and I'm going to edit, and let's hope that I can do this. Thank you for watching.